Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to talk about the Query Dependency Editor in Power BI. The Query Dependency Editor in Power BI is a visual tool that allows users to view and manage the dependencies between the queries in their data transformation process. It provides a graphical representation of how queries are interconnected, helping the users to understand the relationship and the dependencies between the different steps in their data preparation workflow. With the Query Dependency Editor, users can easily visualize the flow of data and the transformations within their Power BI dataset. They can see which query serves as a source for which other query, how queries are connected through the dependencies, and the overall structure of their data model. With the Query Dependency Editor, users can easily visualize the flow of the data and the transformation within their Power BI dataset. They can see which query serves as the source for which other query, how queries are connected through the dependencies, and the overall structure of their data model. The Query Dependency Editor also allows the users to manage the query dependency more effectively. Users can identify and troubleshoot the issues related to the query and such as circular references or missing sources. They can also rearrange and optimize the order of query execution to improve the performance and streamline the data transformation process. Overall, the Query Dependency Editor enhances the transparency, efficiency, and manageability of the data transformation workflow in the Power BI. It provides the users with valuable insights into the structure and dependencies of their dataset, empowering them to make the informed decisions and optimize their data preparation process. So let's go to the Power BI screen and see how can we use this Query Dependency Editor. So over here, I am this View tab and I am having this Query Dependency Editor. On the left hand side, I have this various queries with me. Now with queries, I mean that these are the multiple data sets which I have loaded from different data sources. Now, after looking at all these data sets, I am confused that which particular data set is dependent on which other one, or which particular data sets have been fetched out from a single source. So in that case, what I can do is I can go in this query dependencies. So if I click on this, I will get a look at all these particular data sets and all the sources from which these data sets have been fetched from. So if I click on this layout, so if you are not able to see this in this correct way, what you can do is I have this layout option in front of me. I can click on this layout, and the first option that I have over here is this top to bottom layout. I don't like this layout personally. I can choose this left to right layout. If I click on this, it would simplify the process for me. The first data set of the sample sales have been loaded from this particular source. The next one is the furniture and the sheet one, which have been loaded from this data source. Then I have these three sheets with me, orders, peoples, and returns, which have been fetched from this single data source. Now, these all three are not dependent on each other. The only three which are dependent on a single data source are this orders, people, and returns. And also this furniture and sheet are dependent on a single data source. Now let's close this. Now let's say if you are trying to make any new sheet, or if you are trying to create any reference for your queries or any duplicate queries. By this duplicate queries and reference queries, I mean that you are making any changes to this data set. So let's say if you are using this returns table and if you click on it and if you use this reference option, that means that it is referencing this returns. Now, how would it reflect in your query dependency? So let's go to the query dependency. Again, I will click on this layout option. I will choose this left to right layout. Over here, you can see that at first, this particular data source was having this orders, peoples, and returns table. Now, the new returns table that I have created is dependent on this previous one. So that means in this query dependency auditor, it is very simple and it is very easy for me to see which particular query is dependent on which query. If I again close it, and this time I'm using this furniture table, so I will click on this. I can see the preview of it. Maybe I can refresh this preview also. Again, let's say that this time I don't want to create any reference query. This time I want to just duplicate it. So I will right click on this. I will use this duplicate option and it would create a duplicate sheet for me. After it has created a duplicate sheet for me, I will again go in the query dependencies to see how they are related to one another. I will go in the layout option, choose the left to right layout. Over here, now you can see that it is trying to load this furniture and sheet from this source, but also it has created this new furniture and it is not related to this one, although they are coming from a single source because it has now tried to create this duplicate of furniture. In the previous one, when we were trying to create a reference file, it was referencing this returns. But over here, It is not related to it. It has already created a duplicate, of course, but now they are independent of each other. So in this way, you can use this query dependency or editor when you are having this multiple data sources and multiple data sets that you have loaded, and you are not sure that how are all these related to each other or what is the exact flow of your query. So in that case, you can use this query dependency editor. So this was all for this session. In the upcoming sessions, we'll be talking a bit more about how can you use this Power Query editor to transform our data. Thank you.